Hey y'all, welcome back to Adventuring with Amanda. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Today we are talking about a topic that was requested from Devi in my Adventuring with Amanda Facebook group. If you have not joined, you are more than welcome. Everybody is welcome. On Facebook, you can search the group by just putting Adventuring with Amanda in the search bar. There is also a link to the group in the description of this video. If you do request to join, make sure that you answer the 2 questions in order to be approved. So, we are talking about relationships, van life relationships, friendships, how to maintain relationships while you're on the road, how to make friends, and the background on how Maddie Van Halen and I met, because I've been getting a lot of recent questions on that as well. So, to begin with maintaining relationships. So, I started van life 3 years ago. And I began the transition to life on the road and minimalism about 5 years ago. And when I started to research vans and rigs and talk about living on the road, I quickly learned who in my life was going to be supportive. Now, I have been on a sort of self-discovery journey for the last 5 years, ever since I got divorced, and I have been able to get rid of a lot of toxic and negative people in my life. And I have a pretty small circle at this point. Unfortunately, I've learned that a lot of people don't understand or support the concept of van life, whether you're full-time or part-time. And that's okay, but just remember that those people might not be the best for your soul or your mental health. So I encourage you to dig deep and find those relationships that really bring a lot of value to you. Now, when you find those relationships and you're living on the road, again, whether full-time or part-time like I do, I'm in my van about 80% of the time. It's easy to lose touch with people when you don't see them in person. So, like I said, I have a very small inner circle of friends and some very close, loyal girlfriends who I would absolutely trust with my life. And some of them live in Arizona where I do, and some of them don't. So at least once a month, I take some time out of my day to send each of them a message, whether that's a text message, a message on WhatsApp or Messenger. That's typically how I talk to my girlfriends, or giving them a quick phone call just to say, hey, I'm thinking about you, checking in, seeing how things are. Now, generally with me, I don't really have any news because life is pretty low stress and low key, but I want to make sure that my girlfriends know that I'm thinking about them and I love them, and they always hold a special place in my heart, whether I'm camping in the forest or traveling around the country. Of course, I'm really close with my mom and my siblings, so I make it a point to see my mom at least once a month, sometimes twice a month, depending on what the situation is. And my brother, I like to see at least once a month as well. My sister lives in Miami Beach, but we talk every day. So, and I talk with my mom, a few times a week, but I do make sure that I make time to go into the valley to visit her in Chandler. So really just reaching out to your core group of people, letting them know you're thinking about them, even if it's a quick text message. It can mean the world for maintaining those relationships, especially since, we get older and we get busy. Now, in terms of making new relationships on the road and making friends, people often ask, how do you make friends on the road? Well, coming to a place where nomads thrive, which is Arizona, is a great way to make friends. Many of you know that Quartzsite, Arizona is like the nomad capital of the country during the winter season, and it's an incredible way to meet people. Whether you're looking for a travel partner or just some friends to camp with for a few nights, Quartzsite is a great way. If you stay at one of the long-term visitor areas, people are often there for anywhere from a month to 6 months, and there are lots of events that happen at those places as well. It's about introducing yourself, making friends with your neighbors, and seeing who you might fit in with. I have a very close group of friends that I met at La Posa South, long-term visitor area in Quartzsite. I call them my Quartzsite family, and that's my Quartzsite parents, Daryl and Marilyn, my friends like Yellow Wolf, Justin, Wayne. I have a group chat with these people throughout the year, and we're always really excited to hook back up. But it's really, I met them just by camping near them. Justin and I met via the RTR that Bob Wells puts on, which brings me to the next point. If you do go to Quartzsite, or you're interested in going to Quartzsite, Bob Wells of Cheap RV Living, along with the nonprofit Homes on Wheels Alliance, they host events in Quartzsite where you can meet other people, like-minded individuals, people with kind of the same travel vibe or schedule that you have. And they also set up caravans. So if you're interested in traveling with people, whether it's just an all ladies group, or men and women, you have that option. So I do recommend pulling out that extrovert in you, even if you are super introverted like I am, believe it or not. You kind of have to put yourself out there in order to meet people. Another great way to meet people is online, specifically on Facebook. There are a lot of great Facebook groups. I'm sure you can find one in your local area, like camping or traveling in your area, but also in groups such as Meet in Q, which stands for Meet in Quartzsite. That's a great way, if you go out to Quartzsite, Arizona, to maybe hook up with other ladies or men who want some company and some companionship. So searching that online, you have to be a little bit proactive, but come fall and winter season, you can also find a lot of resources on the Homes on Wheels Alliance YouTube channel, as well as the Cheap RV Living YouTube channel. Those two are kind of connected, but those websites as well, the Homes on Wheels Alliance website is also a great resource for finding meetup groups and caravans if you're interested in that sort of thing. Now, I meet a lot of ladies, specifically ladies, when I'm out camping. So just a few weeks ago, I met Vanessa and at the area that I'm currently at, and she has a little dog named Bobo. And Wynston and Bobo get along really, really well. So Vanessa and I started talking, and now we're familiar with each other. And I meet a lot of lady friends that way. I even have my friend Colleen here who has a little Chihuahua named Angelina. My friend Lisa is nearby. Literally just camping by people, going on walks, saying hi. You never know who you might meet. And I've even met up with Lisa and Colleen in Bryce Canyon, Utah before. So it's just about vibing and connecting with people that you have something in common with. The story behind Maddie and I is that we are obviously both YouTubers, and we had been following each other for a couple of years on YouTube, and then last November we actually met in person. And there are two things that I remember about that encounter that really stood out to me. The first one was that Wynston didn't bark at him, which made a really big difference because Wynston is normally pretty judgy and protective of me. So if he doesn't bark, I know that that person is most likely really good energy and a really good vibe. We also sat for hours and just had really intelligent conversation. And I learned that we just had a lot in common to talk about. And it was just really chill, no pressure. So Maddie and I have very similar van lifestyles. We're chill. We're no stress. Even though we've been camping and traveling together, he'll be doing his thing, I'll be doing my thing, no obligation. That expectation was really set at the beginning, just because we felt comfortable and we communicated that with each other. Maddie and I have traveled together. Again, we have a very similar travel style. That's low stress. We're not like on a super hardcore schedule. We're kind of just go with the flow type of people, and communicating that with your friends, your travel companions, and setting those expectations up front are really important. Since I do like my alone time and I am an introvert, I'm not really a fan of being with people who constantly want to socialize. It's just not my jam. So, hanging out with people who are comfortable being like around the vicinity of each other, but not all up in each other's space all the time, is my sort of vibe. So, um, you just have to kind of put yourself out there again to make friends. Use those resources. Go camping and talk to people. You're really not going to meet friends that you vibe with if you just like sit in your rig all day and don't do anything. I noticed that dog parents often get along really well, and you just have to get to know people and talk to those people to see if you'd be good travel or camping partners. So reach out to your friends, let them know you love them and you're thinking about them. Use all your resources, social media, YouTube, meetups, camping to meet people and just see who you vibe with. You got to get to know people in order to make van life friends. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it was helpful or informative. If it was, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.